Warning, the following podcast may contain adult language and explicit content. Parental discretion is advised. Also, warning, if you are female and you have a husband, boyfriend, or significant other, be very careful listening to this. Because the following individual is so sexy and his words are so smooth, he may make you question the situation that you're in. I just want them to know ahead of time, that you listen to me, you listen to my podcast, you might have been thinking one thing and then, listen to my words to make you think something else. And then you'll be like, wow, he's so cool. Maybe I should talk to him. And then I don't want to break up with what you got going on because, I'm not a home wrecker. I'm not trying to do that, So that's why I'm trying to give you this warning so you know ahead of time, maybe I should proceed with caution. You're welcome. Oh, hell yeah. Every time you hear that music, you get turned all the way up. You damn right. You ready to stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass and walk it dry. As the old saying goes. But anyway, it is March 27th, 2016. This is Johnny Knows Best. It is about 2:30 in the afternoon on Easter Sunday as I'm recording this. I don't know if I'm going to post this on today, but anyway, this was recorded on Sunday afternoon, and today's episode is episode 8, Why the Love of My Life is Pro Wrestling. I'm finally going to do the wrestling episode that I've been talking about, I think since like episode 2 or episode 3, that I want to do a wrestling episode where I try to stay on topic. I get off topic from time to time, but I'm going to try to stay on the topic of just talking about pro wrestling and why I love it, why it is the love of my life, and really just what wrestling means to me and how it really has saved my life and made my life better having wrestling in my life. Then I'm going to try to also get into some WrestleMania talk. WrestleMania will be live in Arlington, Texas next Sunday at AT&T Stadium. WrestleMania 32. It's a big deal. It's supposed to be 100,000 people are estimated to be there, including yours truly. And I'm so ready. People have been asking me for the past all this week or all of last week, are you excited about going? And I really wasn't getting that excited about it. Like I was just, because I put it in the back of my mind because I still had another week to go. So, but as it gets closer, now that it's only a week away, we're only like 7 days out from WrestleMania, I am getting pretty excited about it. It is a big deal. I'm getting in the WrestleMania mood, the WrestleMania spirit. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be epic. A very epic night. And I'm so excited that I get to go experience it live. Knock on wood. That was me knocking on wood, just in case. Because you got to make sure that you cover yourself, just in case. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Hopefully I'm able to make my trip and I'm able to leave Thursday and travel to Texas, travel to the site of WrestleMania, because if I don't get to go, then it's really God's will, and it'll be okay. I know I'll make it next year, so and when I come back, I'm gonna officially start the countdown to next year. Next year is gonna be awesome too. Next year is gonna be lit. WrestleMania 33 when it's in Orlando. But yeah, I'm excited about that too. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about next year. But mostly, I'm just happy that I'm a wrestling fan. I'm proud to be a wrestling fan. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, a lot of people, you know, have certain attitudes about people that watch grown people that watch pro wrestling. You know, people will accept kids watching it, or, you know, some people will accept children watching it, but mostly you don't see that many grown adults, grown ass men in their 30s that are crazy about it. But I'm a hardcore fan. Like, I can honestly say I've been a wrestling fan since I was 3 years old. Since as far back as I can remember, I've been a wrestling fan. My dad watched wrestling. My granddad, he was huge into wrestling. So there was never, it was just ingrained in me at a very early age. Before I could even walk good, or around the time I started walking good, it was just ingrained in me to be a pro wrestling fan. So that's what I am. You know, I love wrestling. I love pro wrestling. I love the WWE in particular. I'm a WWE guy. You know, I don't have anything against Japanese wrestling. I don't have anything against indie wrestling or lucha libre or, you know, hardcore wrestling or any other type of federation, company, or region of wrestling. But I grew up on the WWE. I grew up on WrestleMania. You know, one of the first WrestleManias I can remember watching was WrestleMania 3. Andre the Giant against Hulk Hogan. I remember that vividly as a little child. So, you know, obviously I dated myself. I've been around that long. I can remember that, and I've always just been a big WWE mark, I guess. I'm a mark, I guess, for the WWE. It's always going to be my favorite, no matter what. A lot of people don't like WWE, and I respect that. And that's not like the only wrestling I watch. I watch all different kinds of wrestling, including a lot of the different wrestling I just mentioned. Lucha Libre, I love that. I love watching Japanese wrestling. I've just recently gotten into Japanese wrestling, though, in the last couple years. My friend has sent me some links to a lot of Japanese wrestling on YouTube, a lot of older stuff, and so I'm starting to get big into it. I like the fact that you know, Nakamura that's coming into WWE, he got big in Japan, and Asuka that's already wrestling on NXT, she's from Japan. And those are like two of my favorites already. So anybody else that's very, very in demand in Japan, you know, I really have been enjoying Japanese wrestling. And New Japan, as a federation, I've been enjoying that. I watch a lot of New Japan over the last summer, because I haven't watched any recent, but I know I was watching a lot over the summer last year. And you can tell that by just how many people go to the events over there. And one day I would love that, to go to Japan one day and go to a Japanese show. Sometime in my lifetime, that would be wonderful. Who knows? Anything's possible. Maybe this podcast will blow up and I'll start getting that kind of money. And I would love to go over to Japan and go to a New Japan show. That would be so amazing. But for the most part, like I said, I'm a WWE guy to my heart and soul. Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon's daddy, and then his daddy before him even, they have had a major impact on my life, just from the wrestling, just from the events, and just from superstars they've produced that I grew up on, that like Superstar Billy Graham and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. All those guys were huge. And I wasn't the biggest Hulk Hogan fan back in the day. I wouldn't really say I was a Hulkamaniac, but I always liked Hogan. He was like the ultimate good guy. He was basically, I'm a big Superman fan, so Hulk Hogan was basically the Superman of pro wrestling. So I'm not going to say he wasn't one of my favorites. I don't know if he was my favorite guy. I always kind of like Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior a little bit more than Hogan. Always was a big Ultimate Warrior fan because, I love comic book characters. And the Ultimate Warrior was the most probably live action comic book character to ever come. Somebody's messaging me, but I'm trying to record here. Person that's messaging me, you're gonna have to wait. But the Ultimate Warrior, like I said, I lost my train of thought. When people message me as I'm recording a podcast, I start reading the messages and I lose where I'm going. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. I picked it back up. The Ultimate Warrior was a live action comic book character, so that's why he resonated with me. That's why he was so important to me. And Macho Man was just Macho Man. He just had all the charisma, oh yeah. I can't even do his voice right now because I don't do good impressions anyway. But if you've been a wrestling fan in the last 30 years, at some point, you try to talk like the Macho Man Randy Savage. Or you did the little finger thing, or, you might have had the glasses, or you might have you might have dressed like him, or talked like him at some point in your life, if you've been a huge wrestling fan in the last 30 years. Last 30 to 40 years, definitely. Because he was the man back in the day. Even when he was the Macho King, Randy Savage has always been the shit. Rest in peace. I hate that he's gone. I wish he was still around, because I think today even if he came out today, if he was still alive, and he came out today, people would go crazy, over the Macho Man. Even Hogan comes out, Hogan gets a good reaction, but you kind of see Hogan all the time, even when he's not with the company or whatever. You see him on TV shows, and Hogan's never really went anywhere long enough for you to miss him, But Macho Man, even before he died, he had been away from like the spotlight of being on television. He had been away from wrestling for like almost 10 years before he died. So if Macho Man were to, it's Easter, so if he was resurrected some kind of way, and he put on